Welcome to the stream, everybody. Just doing a bit of a railcam from my art show. Just seeing what we can see. I will be doing this for the next 5 weeks, I believe, unless I go somewhere else. But the rail fan, but I'm probably gonna do this. Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah. I'm fine. Just here rail fanning. Not sure if anything's gonna be running by here today. I'm not too sure because there was a track inspector earlier. So, and I don't know if he's got off the rails or not. I don't know if he's back on the road or he's still inspecting the line. I'm not too sure, but last time I saw him, he was still on the rails. So, yeah, I mean, because you're seeing if we can at least get something. But for what I'm expecting, probably not. Tomorrow, maybe, but I'm not sure. Just seeing what SKOL can give us. Hello, welcome to the stream. Just here rail fanning. What's good, Johnny? Just here rail fanning with my new live rail cam. Just north of Owasso right now, just in my hometown. Welcome to the 23 people who turned in already. Tuned in, I should say. Basically, we are rail fanning with a live rail cam. A rail cam is basically a camera filming the rail line that runs by it. Just in case you didn't know. That's actually very surprising. Only 3 trains in Nowata today. That's different. Usually there's a bit more than that, but apparently not. Now, if I do catch a southbound today, I am ready with my bike out there. Because I will chase it if there is. Like, if you haven't seen my latest video of the SKOL or South Kansas and Oklahoma line in 205, in the video I chased it. Basically, this is a thing I usually do, but I have to chase it if it's going south, because first off, whenever I hear it, it's usually either past my normal spot, which is about right where we're at, set up at, which is right here on Main Street. Because first off, it's usually southbound, and it comes into town, stops, or what it does is come straight through without stopping. So usually you don't have much time, but back on the 16th, I caught it with it being literally right at Main Street crossing when I did. So managed to get it right there with seconds to spare. So that was practically insane. Then I was like, I'm just gonna chase this all the way to Garnett, which is about half a mile. So I didn't get up to the front end whenever I went on to Garnett, but I didn't get to pace it on my bike. So just something I usually do. Now there was a train yesterday. I don't know which way it went because first off it was dark whenever that was. So I'm not sure which way it went, but from what I'm guessing, it was probably a northbound. The symbols of the trains that go through that I know of is the Collinsville turn runs through here. It is the SKOL 109. Then there's the SKOL 204, which goes from Owasso, Oklahoma to Cherryville, Kansas. Then there's the 205, which is Cherryville, Kansas to Owasso, Oklahoma. So just a little insight information of the line. Haven't heard anything all day on the line, so it's first off, there's not really much trains through here anyway. There's about one or two a day at least, maybe like 5 a week. It's about daily for trains, but sometimes it's maybe weekly for a train. Like it really just depends. What power are they using? SKOL on the 204 and 205 and the 109. So 109 is primarily the SD40 series. It's basically the SD40-2s and the SD40M-2s. The SD40M-2s are rebuilt SD45s. And then the 204 and 205, they usually have a mix between, like they usually have either SD40s in it or like one SD40 or two. Maybe you could get a trio, which is actually very rare to see, but most of the time it's just the SD60Ms. Now, some of the rarest times you can get a trio or a duo of SD40s is either whenever it's 160M, or basically it's like four units on one train. Then yeah, you probably have a good chance. But the past times I've seen a 4-engine units on the 205 and 204, it's just been SC60Ms. So yeah, I mean the 204 I caught, it was 4 engines, and on the rear it had a ballast train, which is definitely more interesting. But one of the units out of the 4, which is actually the 4th unit, was a Triclops, not a. Now the SC60Ms that come through here, they're the second version of the SD60M Triclops. Now the Triclops, what makes it special is it's basically 3 windows on each side, besides the normal doors, on like the nose and then the back. And then there's the other SC60Ms, which mainly come through here. Those are called whisper cabs. They are the second version because the Triclops were very loud because of the nose. It was mainly, I believe, the nose was actually attached to the cab, which made it very loud. Like how some SC70 Aces, they had their nose not separated from the cab, so they were nicknamed the Thunder Cabs, because that's what they were similar to. But yeah, that's basically just some information also. Yeah, I do remember when Wadco did have a Norfolk Southern high hood. Yeah, I never got to see it, but I mean, I would have loved to. But something I found interesting that SKOL actually owns. So, 4152 on their roster was FURX 8110. Now, if you don't know, the 8110 was involved in a NSF railway crash back in around 2008. It was the Kismet. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but that's how I've heard it. So basically, it was involved in that wreck. So basically, that was actually interesting to see because actually only one of the locomotives I know of was actually scrapped out of the units that were involved in the wreck, which is actually something interesting. Now, the unit that was scrapped in question was a NREX X Conrail unit, which had the Conrail paint, but the logo was patched over. So, just something interesting. And then most of the units that were involved are still in active service or they were retired. Like I think like a few of them I know, the one of them being a Santa Fe GP30, I believe, was actually retired after basically it was I think like every unit was like basically repaired. Either they had damage that didn't affect their like prime mover, I believe, and they were able to repair it, or else damage to the cab, which is just something interesting. Now, one of the photos of 4152 was when it was pulling the Balkans day train, which is a office car, kind of like an office car special, but more of also like a museum move if they mix them both together, basically like that. So, just something interesting. I also know that SLWC actually has two GP7Us that are in service, I believe, still, which is actually interesting. Now, I don't know exactly their numbers, but that's all I know. There's only like two of them on the roster of Stillwater Central, which is SLWC. And then for SKOL, there is also their. So SKOL only owns one GP15, I believe, and then they also own like two SW1500s. Like they own a few things. I'm surprised. I've seen one of their SW1500s. Saw back when I went to Pittsburgh, Kansas before. I went to the yard and that's what I saw. And then with that unit, there was also 7013, if I am correct. I can't exactly remember, but that's what if I remember correctly, it was the same day I saw that. Like I said, I'm not too sure though. So yeah, it's been basically this line here is. I'm not too sure. The roster I looked at whenever I saw that, I'm not sure if. I know they weren't retired, that's what's said, but I'm not too sure. Another fun fact I saw about was that the Arkansas Missouri Railroad only owns two SD70 ACEs or ACEs P4s. But yeah, like not T4s, but instead of T, it was a P, which is actually interesting because I've never heard of that kind of them. But their numbers are 7001 and 7002, which is interesting. So I'm not. So that was just something interesting to see. I have seen a video of them both. They're actually pretty cool. And then on Arkansas, Missouri's roster is also an ex-Kansas City Southern SC70 Ace, which I did see back when I took my trip to Springdale. So that was actually interesting. I've yet to catch the Arkansas Missouri moving on camera, but I have been on one of their trains before. So there's something interesting. But I believe they only run on like weekdays, so that's a bit sad because first off, if I went to on a weekend, I would not be able to get moving. So, well, one thing's for sure, I want to catch. Lord, I do want to catch one of their passenger excursions, and then I want to catch one of their freight trains, because I've seen videos of their freight trains. They're pretty cool. I mean, I saw like one of them was just basically a pure rock trains like that. I was like, not like the pure rock, I meant like the pure as in the entire train was basically a rock train like that. So that was actually pretty interesting to see because it actually used 4 units, which that's different. And all of them were actually ST-70 Aces also. So another interesting thing. Yeah, basically it's pretty interesting to see what other railroads have that you wouldn't expect them to. And for Arkansas, Missouri only being a class 3 or 2, I believe. I can't exactly remember if they're a class 3 or 2, but I think it's a class 3. But it's just interesting that they actually own like modern EMDs, but also own like old Alco units. Like that is just one way to say that they like both modern and old. Yeah, I agree. The new NS OCS units, those are pretty cool. And I found, and they're honoring like the Southern Railway. No, not Southern Railway, the Norfolk and Western, I mean, which is also interesting. So, yeah, they're kind of basically like a heritage unit also, which they're made for, and also they made them for not just OCS use, but also freight use. They're both, they're made for both of them, which that's just interesting. So you could see them running from the freight trains once they're done with the office car specials. So it was an interesting thing that I heard. But yeah, that's basically just what I've been hearing so far. Yeah, I'm not going to be on this live stream for long though, but I mean, this is kind of just like a test live stream in a way. But you're just seeing how this does, in a way. Now, if I move my phone, this is actually a window screen. So, yeah, I just have my phone close enough that I can't really, that the camera doesn't even show it really, so that's good. I don't know if there's anything coming or not. I'm not too sure though, because really, if SKOL is basically random. Well, about that, Johnny, I heard that they actually discontinued that KCS holiday train. It's now the CPKC one. So the F units are now just being used for the office car specials. Because that was an article posted from CPKC, so yeah, that holiday train's was basically retired in a way, basically. So now it's just a CPKC one. I mean, I am going to Siloam Springs not on Saturday to go catch it, but I will be going in like around noon. That's when I'll be there probably. So, yeah, just after because the opening day of this art show I'm at is Saturday, and the holiday train's coming on Saturday. So basically, I'm setting up the stuff here at the art show first, and then I'm going on to Siloam Springs. So yeah. My thoughts on the CPKC paint scheme. It's not bad actually. I mean, before I didn't like it, but it just grew on me, and not to mention I did see two back on the 30th of August, so that was pretty cool to see. And then just the day after, I did see UP 8388, but also same day with the CPKC paints, I did see 4009, which they're all in a video, which is titled 8-30-25 to like September 1st, 2025, like some like that. Like they're not that old of a video, so you can still go see it. But basically, that they're on the same video with the Balkans Day paint scheme, not Balkans Day paint scheme, Balkans Day train. So yeah. But overall, it is a pretty decent paint scheme. I mean, I don't know why I can't talk. But basically, I have tried working on a paint scheme that I thought would look better, but I was like, it just kind of fits. But under GEs, it's a bit iffy, but if you've seen the recently painted EMD SC60 from Canadian Pacific that was painted into the CPKC paint, yeah, it does look pretty good on it, though. It does actually look pretty good. Now, there's two things I would love to see in the CPKC paint, with that being a KCS SC70 Ace and then a Canadian Pacific SD70 ACU. Those would be pretty cool, though, because, like I said, the paint scheme fits more with like the EMD in my opinion. So that's just my thoughts. hope tomorrow we do have a chance of getting an SKOL train here, because I will be here in the morning, but then after noon I won't. But for tomorrow, yes, I do have plans. I am going to my cousin's house for Thanksgiving, and then Friday I will be having a, like, first off, my cousin's Thanksgiving is from my dad's side, and we're having a Thanksgiving party on Friday from my mom's side. So that's basically the plan. But I mean, I can come down here anytime, since I do have the key also for this place here. That's cool. You got a double coal train? I mean, I saw one when I was trying to see 1988 when I was there last in Nowata. But I never did see 1988 though. I mean, I did see 1995 not so long ago, so that made up for it. I'm probably gonna end this stream soon. Well, I mean, I'm not expecting to be on here like all night, so yeah, I'm just here for a little bit, so probably just gonna end it once it gets to the 40-minute mark. I mean, I'll start the stream up again if I hear anything. If I did have my scanner, that'd probably be good, but I don't have it with me, so yeah. Alright guys, thank you for tuning in to the live stream today. I'll see you once I hear something, or probably tomorrow. See ya.